Okay, everybody, here is the big day. We have 4 baggers going down today. 4 equations, 4 variables. We got to take our time, be neat, and make sure all our calculations are correct. Okay, here we go. Let's start setting it up. Here we go with the first one. 1, 1, 1, 1, 4. 2, 1, -2, -1, 0, 1, -2, -1, -2, -2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 4. There we go. Always go back and make sure your matrix is correct before starting, because last thing you guys want to do is set up a wrong matrix and then try to work on it from there. Okay, here we go. You guys know I need 1, 0, 0, 0 in that first column. So I am going to multiply. Let's start by using that 2 in row 2. Everyone see the 2 in row 2? I'm going to try to change into a 0. What do I add to it? I got to add a -2 to it. So my rule for row 2 is going to be -2 times row 1. Okay, let's take this one row at a time. I am not going to change the first row. Here we go, our new second row. All right, see if you can find what it is on your own. Stop the video, pause it. If not, keep listening. We know that's going to change into a 0. Now here's where we got to be careful. -2 times 1 is -2, plus 1 is -1. Just type it in your calculator as you say it. Again, -2 times 1 is -2, plus -2 is -4. -2 times 1 is -2, plus -1 is -3. And -2 times 4 is -8, plus 0 is -8. Perfect. All right, hopefully we're good there now. Next up, let's do a rule for row 3. Okay, row 3. What should I add to row 3? Well, there's a 1 there right now in row 3, and I'm going to have to add a -1 to it. So let's just do -1 times row 1. Okay, so here we go. I know I'm going to get a 0 there. Next one, let's see, that's -1 plus -2 gives me -3. That's going to be -2 plus -1 is another, oh, sorry, -1 plus -1, -2. So you got to be careful. -1 plus -2, that's going to be a -3 as well. And now I'm going to have -4 plus -2 is -6. So hopefully we're all looking good there. All right, finally, row 4 now, there's a 3 there. So what must I add to row 4? If I'm going to get rid of that 3 and make it a 0, I need to multiply row 1 now by -3. Okay, let's see what our new results are. I know that's 0. -3 plus 2 is -1. -3 plus 1 is -2. -3 times 1 is -3 plus 3. I get a 0 there. And then -12 plus 4 is -8. So there it is. First matrix down. Okay, so I got 1, 0, 0. Next stop, everybody see that? I'll circle it. Everyone see this -1 right here? That's got to become a positive 1 somehow. Okay, and I always say when you go to make a number into a 1, multiply that entire row by the reciprocal, which I will do right now. I'm just going to take row 2. And what do I have to multiply that -1 by to get positive 1? I'm going to multiply it by -1. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Everything's staying the same except row 2. And again, trying to be neat. 0, 1, 4, 3, 8. There's my new row 2. Just change the signs. Make sure everything gets copied over, please, correctly. And we're good. Okay. All right, here we go. Now I got to get 0, 1, 0, 0. Okay. So in column 2 now, the column, I need 0, 0, 1. Okay. So now remember what we talked about. Now instead of multiply by row 1, we want to multiply by row 2. So, all right, so let's see what we got. We're going to have, change that 1. I'm going to have to multiply by a -1. So my new row 1 here. Okay, I'm going to have to multiply row 2 by -1. Okay, so let's rewrite that new row. So now I'm still going to have 1, still going to stay 1. That 1 becomes a 0. So -4 plus 1 gives me -4 plus 1, -3. -8 plus 4 is -4. Oh, I'm missing something. Okay, so 1, 0, negative. Oh, there it is. -3 plus 1 is going to give me -2. And now -8 plus 4 will give me -4. So I should be all right there. Okay. Everyone all right there? Okay, next up, got to worry. Emily. Sorry about that. I'm just getting a little handle on the child care. Next up. Okay, next up, nothing. Row 2 is going to stay the same. Perfect. Okay, now for row 3, it looks like I'm going to have to get that -3 to become a 0, so I'm going to have to add 3 to it. So to get my new row 3, I'm going to go back to row 2, and because I need a 3, I'm going to multiply it by 3. Okay, so now still looking at 0. That's not going to change. Now I'm looking at 0 again. All right, my new row 3 now, let's see, 12 plus -2 is 10. 9 plus -3 is 6. And let's see, 24 plus -6, 24. Yes, I am getting out the calculator because I do not want to make a mistake. 24 plus -6, 18. We're good. All right, last one, row 4. Okay, I got a -1 there. Okay, so really what I can do, I can just I don't have to do much. I'm just going to take row 4 and add it to row 2 because there's already a 1 there. I don't have to multiply it by anything now. Okay, so my new row 4 will be 0, 0, 2, 4 plus -2, 3, which I got from 3 plus 0, and then 0, which I got from 8 plus -8. Okay, there we go. Everybody's good? Okay, now I need to make this 10 as a 1. Okay, now here's where it's going to be a little tricky now. Okay, it's going to be a little tricky because I would want to multiply by 1/10. But if I do that to the 6 and the 18 that are next to it, okay, we're going to deal with fractions. So if you remember the last time we did this, we tried to switch a row to see if it would make it easier. Now, the only row I can really switch with, so I don't change anything, is row 4. And in row 4, there's a 2. Okay, not bad. I can multiply that one by a half to get 1. But then I also have the 3 to deal with. Okay, I'm going to flip them because I'd rather deal with 1 fraction than 2 fractions. If I multiplied row 3 by a tenth, I'd have 6/10 and 18/10. Versus if I flip-flopped them and multiplied by a half, now I'm only doing 3 halves, and that's it. So I'd rather deal with 1 fraction than 2 fractions. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I am going to take row 3 and flip it with row 4. Now, again, you don't have to do this. If you want to deal with 6/10 and 18/10, that's fine. You can. There's no rule saying you can't. Okay, so 1, 0, -3, -2, and -4. 0, 1, 4, 3, 8. Flip them. 0, 0, 2, 3, 0. And then 0, 0, 10, 6, 18. Okay, now I'll take row 3 and multiply it by a half. So I can get a 1 there. 1, 0, -3, -2, -4. 0, 1, 4, 3, 8. Okay, here we go. 0, 0, 1, 3 halves. I'm going to have to deal with it. 0, 0, 0, 10, 6, 18. Okay, there we go. All right, let's keep this train going. Now I need the -3, the 4, and the 10 all to become zeros now. And now instead of multiplying by row 1 or row 2, it's time to multiply by row 3. Okay, so the first thing I need to get out is, just let me color it real quick here. That -3 needs to become a 0. So you guys know I add 3 to it. So how do I get a 3 from here? I'm going to take row 3, multiply it by 3, and add that bad boy to row 1 now. Okay. All right, so now here's our new row 1. 1, 0, not changing. Okay, here we go. 1 times 3 is 3. That gives me a 0 there. All right, we knew we had to deal with it. Fraction time. Okay, so 3 halves times 3 gives me 4.5. And now I have to add that to -2. And that gives me 2.5. I'll just leave it as 5/2 now. You can leave the decimal if you want, whatever your preference is. All right, next up, I got 3 times 0 plus -4. That's just going to be -4. Okay, let's truck along here. Now let's get rid of the 4 now, down below that -3. Let's get rid of that 4. I'm going to add -4 to it. So my new rule here is going to be -4 times row 3 plus row 2. Okay, so now we're looking at 0, 1, 0. Okay, here we go again. So 3 halves times -4, and I'm going to have to add that to 3. Hey, not bad. That comes out to be a nice number, -3. And then -4 times 0 plus 8. I'm just going to keep 8. Boom. Okay, one more. Row 3 staying the same, right? Because that's the row we're on. 0, 0, 1, 3 halves, and 0. Whew, almost there. Getting the home stretch. Wrong color. There we go. Okay, row 4. I need to get that 10 spot out of there. So here we go. -10. Row 4. Row 3 plus row 4. Because I'm multiplying everything by row 3 in this one. Okay, here we go. We have 0, 0. Now we have 0 again. Okay, 3 halves times negative 10 plus 6. Nice number, negative 9. And then 18 will still stay 18. Boom. Okay, we're getting there, guys. We're almost done. Okay, now that negative 9 down there needs to become a 1, so I have no other choice but to multiply it by its reciprocal, so negative 1/9 multiplied by row 4. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 1, and let's see, negative 1/9. What's that going to be? Negative 2. Perfect. All right, so it looks like I already know what z is going to equal. Okay. Okay, last matrix. Let's get all those 5 halves, negative 3, and 3 halves. They all have to become zeros. Okay, let's start in row 1. I have a 5 halves there, so I'm going to have to multiply row 4 by negative 5 halves. It's the only way I'm going to get it out of there. So ready? Here's my final row 1. 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, what's my new number over there, which will become the answer for x? So I got negative 5 halves times 1, or times negative 2, excuse me. Negative 5 halves times negative 2, and then add that to negative 4. 1. Oh, I love it. There we go, whole number. Yeah, we are having fun, aren't we? Okay, next up, row 2. We got to get the negative 3 out. Oh, that's not bad. Nice. Negative 3 out of there, so we got to add 3. So I'm going to go 3 times row 4. And here we go. 0, 1, 0, 0. Negative 2 times 3 is 1. 1 plus 8. Negative 3. We're good. 3. Oh, excuse me. If I could do math here today. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Plus 8 is 2. There we go. I was looking at my answer key and getting nervous here. Next up, row 3, the final rule. Okay, I got a 3 halves there. So, yep, I'm going to have to multiply row 4 by negative 3 halves. And here we go. 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay, what do I get there? So negative 3 over 2 times negative 2 plus 0. I get a 3 spot. There we go. And then just finish off row 4, rewrite it. Take a deep breath because we did it. We did it, kids. We got W equal to 1, X equal to 2, Y equal to 3, and Z equal to negative 2. Whoo, buddy. All right, looks good. Again, you just got to take your time. All right, we went through a ton of matrices there. All right, nothing changed. The rules never changed. The only thing that got maybe a little crazy is when we flip-flop rows 3 and 4. So I dealt with 1 fraction instead of 2. Okay, if you wanted to deal with 2, you'd still be in the same boat. Okay, and again, I can't stress this enough. This is not the only order of doing it. All right, you could multiply another row. As long as you guys keep your 1s and 0s right where they are, that's all I care about. Okay, so what my plan is to try out number 2 with you in the notes tomorrow during our Google Meet. Might be a good idea to go ahead, see what you can do on your own. Okay, see what you can do on your own. I'll let you know. So you're just not going off anywhere for number 2. Here you go. W equals 0. X equals -3. Y equals 0. And Z equals -3. Okay, so that's what you should end up with if you want to go ahead and give it a shot. Hey, if you mess up, okay, who cares? If you want to wait till our Google Meet session to do it, that's fine too. Okay, so hopefully you guys found this helpful. Thanks, guys.